Rangers are at the centre of fresh transfer headlines this week, with a new development that's caught many by surprise. Behind the scenes, a situation is rapidly unfolding, one that could have serious implications for the club's summer plans and stir debate across the fan base. Speculation is building, the numbers being mentioned are raising eyebrows, and the potential consequences could stretch well beyond this window. In a period of change and ambition at Ibrox, the timing of this news couldn't be more significant. So what has happened and who is involved? Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Dor Turgeman has reportedly told Maccabi Tel Aviv he wants to move to Rangers. The Israel striker has been on Rangers' radar from previous windows, and new boss Russell Martin was said to be keen to revive their interest. It had seemed that a deal could be done, but there were then claims it could be difficult due to heightening tensions between Israel and Iran. Maccabi would likely find it tough to bring in a player from overseas as a replacement, so may be reluctant to let their goal scorer go. But Israeli outlet One is now reporting Turgeman has told the club of his wish to sign for the Ibrox side. Maccabi have just signed Moldova forward Ion Niculescu, but he is seen as more of a replacement for Eran Zahavi, who had already been sold. Any deal to take Turgeman to Rangers will reportedly have to wait until they sell either Cyril Dessers or Hamza Igamane. Dessers has looked to be on the brink of a move to AEK Athens for some time now, but there has been no movement. While Lille are very interested in Igamane, now in a tremendous £15 million deal, Rangers may be preparing for another seismic shift in their squad, and this time it centres around a player who's captured the fans' imagination since the first time he stepped onto the Ibrox pitch. Hamza Igamane, signed from FAR Rabat for just £1.7 million less than a year ago, has already become a focal point of speculation, and not just among fans. Despite some questioning whether the Moroccan striker ever truly lived up to the early hype, fresh reports suggest Rangers could cash in for a staggering sum, as much as £15 million. At just 22, Igamane notched 16 goals and 3 assists across 46 appearances in all competitions. Solid numbers, particularly for a debut season in a foreign league. His electric start drew admiration from large sections of the Ibrox faithful. Yet, a dip in form under Barry Ferguson, where he managed just 3 goals in his final 21 matches, saw his momentum stall and his stock wobble, at least in the eyes of some supporters. Now, the situation has taken another turn. According to RMC Sports' Fabrice Hawkins, the striker has already agreed personal terms on a 3-year deal with French side Lille. With interest mounting and Rangers weighing up the financial windfall, pundits have begun to weigh in. Tam McManus didn't hold back when assessing Igamane's value. While conceding the player has great ability and flashes of quality, he questioned the striker's pace and athleticism before declaring that a £10 to £15 million fee would be tremendous business for the club. His comments carried a warning too, urging Rangers not to repeat the mistakes of the past, where Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos were allowed to walk away for nothing, their market values wasted. There's a delicate balance to strike at Ibrox. Manager Russell Martin is reportedly keen to build his side around talents like Nico Raskin and Igamane, but with funds needed for a significant summer rebuild, tough choices lie ahead. The potential departure of Cyril Dessers, along with the confirmed departures of creative outlets like Václav Cherny and Yanis Hadji, mean the Light Blues are facing the possibility of a severely depleted forward line. Amid all this uncertainty, one thing is clear: this summer is shaping up to be critical for Rangers. With the club's ownership transition under 49ers Enterprises, led by Parag Marath and Andrew Kavanagh, the coming months will test both ambition and patience. The path back to the top and to closing the gap on Celtic won't be easy, but the decision on Igamane could be one of the defining cause of the window. In other news, Twente and Shede boss Joseph Oosting has revealed he's held talks with Rangers defender Robin Proper as the Dutch side ramp up their attempts to bring him back to the Netherlands. The stopper has returned to training and is expected to decide this week whether he wants to make a go of it under new manager Russell Martin or return to his former club. who have already agreed a £1.5 million fee with Rangers. Twente's sports director Jan Stroyer admitted earlier this week that everything was up to proper and they would be delighted to welcome him back. Now, the Eredivisie side's boss Oosting has added his voice as they attempt to re-sign their former skipper. He said, "We have been in contact with Robin and I hope he returns. I've had a discussion with him and hopefully it will work out in our favour. If it was up to me, the transfer would happen immediately, but I have learned in football it's best to be cautious. You never know for sure." Proper made over 100 appearances for Twente in a 3-year spell before quitting for a move to Rangers. But despite making 22 league starts during the campaign and scoring his first goal for Rangers in an Old Firm win over Celtic, he failed to convince. In other news, a major rule change has occurred in the EFL that could see more cross-border dual ownership deals struck, according to a report. The Guardian reports that the EFL has changed its multi-club ownership rules to allow member clubs, those in the Championship, League 1 and 2, to buy stakes in Scottish and Irish teams for the first time. They state that the regulation change was struck at the organisation's AGM earlier this month. Here, the SPFL and Irish Football League were removed from the list of competitions that clubs were restricted from investing in. It comes just weeks after Andrew Kavanagh and Parag Marath of 49ers Enterprises secured their majority shareholding in Rangers. The latter also control Leeds United and so have dual club ownership, with the San Francisco 49ers also on their books. It has never been an issue for owners of Premier League clubs to have multiple clubs. As well as Leeds' connections to Rangers, Brighton owner Tony Bloom recently purchased a 29% stake in Hearts with a £10 million investment. Meanwhile, the first major multi-club ownership deal to be struck in Scotland was the Black Knights Group's investment in Hibernian, when Bournemouth owner Bill Foley paid £6 million for 25% of the Edinburgh outfit. The need for greater alignment between the EFL and Premier League was highlighted when Leeds' majority owner, 49 Enterprises, entered exclusive negotiations about buying Rangers. They bought a controlling 51% stake in Rangers for £75 million. This rule change marks a significant shift in the landscape of British football ownership, and could pave the way for even closer ties between clubs across the UK and Ireland, with the EFL now permitting cross-border investments, and examples like Rangers, Hearts and Hibs already showing what's possible. More multi-club partnerships may soon follow, potentially reshaping the structure and strategy of clubs on both sides of the border. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.